The stock market is for the rich.
You need big capital to profit. Kailangan dito marami kang pera.
Investing is just for the privileged.
For the longest time, Filipinos have been believing that money and investing are only for the rich and the elite. Kaya naman maraming Pilipino ang natatakot mag-invest. Hindi daw ito para sa kanila, pwede silang ma-scam o di kaya wala silang pangkapital. That's why it's only been in 2018 that the Philippines has reached only 1 million Filipino investors in the stock market. That's only 1% of our total population. But what if at least 10 million Filipinos reach their first million and beyond? What will happen to the Filipino families? Are we still gonna be stuck as a third world country? This is the goal of Investa's three founders, JC Bisnar, Erwin Tin, and JM Lapina. Three young traders in their 20s reaching for the moonshot goal of making at least 10 million Filipinos become rich. JC, JM, and Erwin started Investa way back in 2015. They started from the ground up without any offices, any employees, just the three of them with a big heart to help the Filipino people.
Yes, before sa coffee shops kami, minsan sa hotel lobbies, as long as may internet ka, you can work the whole day. Back then, yung division naman ng work, marketing, HR, tech, finance, kami rin lahat.
Until startup accelerators noticed their hard work and believed in them and gave them a launchpad to reach millions of Filipinos, and they started developing more and more tools. The Investa team started growing rapidly. Innovation after innovation, services and tools that paved the way for Filipinos' investing journey. Investa is relentless in teaching our kababayans about investing. Biggest investment festivals were made. The grandest trading competitions were held. And indeed, Investa has opened the Philippine stock market to everyone. Yes, everyone. Mga ka-Investa, we have been here for more than 5 years and the team has been through so many struggles and challenges, but we were able to conquer them and achieve a lot. But we are not yet done. Investa is still growing and is here to stay. Still, with the heart that fueled us since day one to help 10 million Filipinos achieve financial freedom. So that you can enjoy your life, so that you can pursue the things that you really want to do, so that you can give back to yourself for your hard work, for your family, and for your community. Ka-Investa, maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagsuporta. Hindi namin magagawa ang lahat ng ito kung wala kayo. Para sa inyo ang lahat ng pagod, lahat ng paghihirap, lahat ng tagumpay para sa mga mahal naming ka-Investa.
Hi, I'm Robert.
And I'm Robert Jr.
Carbon copy ko daw siya, but I think he's very different. Sa akin, dapat lahat areglado. Siya, adventure ang buhay. Like in dating, whatever happened to flowers and chocolates?
Dad, ngayon, pwedeng chat na lang.
Or traveling, I used to save up for months before I booked any trip.
Now, hashtag seat sale, book it.
Sa trabaho, work, work, work.
For me, dapat work-life balance. Learn to chill.
And when it comes to finances, I say invest. Property. A house?
Dad, I have this.
Yan ang investment mo?
Not this. This.
Times have changed, but investing has never been easier than it is now. With ALFM Mutual Funds, all you need is a plan.
Mana ka talaga sa akin.
Hashtag impressed.
Let's go.
Okay, saan tayo dun?
It's up to you.
We have one ultimate goal: enable 10 million Filipinos to invest. 6 years later, our impact on the investing community is undeniable. Filipinos are now equipped with free and accessible financial literacy content and user-friendly trading tools. Although Investa's journey has not been kind, we will never quit nor falter. We are just beginning. It's finally here. The new Investa app, the latest investing platform that will enable Filipinos to invest easily and affordably. Sa halagang 100 pesos, kaya mo nang mag-invest sa top-performing funds locally and globally. Pre-sign up for early access is now open. You can be the first few to experience the newest Investa app. Take your first step towards becoming an investor. Tuparin natin ang pangarap mo. Ito ang simula. Will you be a part of it? What's up mga ka-investa? There you go. So, kumusta naman kayo, no? Let's give a few minutes for people to join in our stream today. And this is a very special stream. So, I'd like to invite everyone to be here to prepare your questions, to really learn and immerse ourselves, no, in the world of investment. So, what's up mga ka-investa and what's up sa ating mga early birds ngayong araw? All right. So, welcome to a very, very special webinar series in Investa that we call The Feeling is Mutual. So again, no, just to reiterate, ang goal natin dito is to educate everyone when it comes to one of the most trusted and reliable investment vehicles we have here in Philippines, mutual funds. No? So if nakasama namin kayo, di ba, you know that last week, kasama natin si Sun Life and sila Sir JC and sila Sir Erwin. Pinag-usapan natin bakit nga ba mutual funds, di ba, anong paki natin, trader tayo. Pero napakalaki rin pala ng importance kung inaalam natin yung mga ganitong klaseng investments. No? So you can go back to those videos if interesado kayo. No? In that one, yun, tinakil natin kung bakit nga ba important yung mutual funds sa ating portfolio. And today, no, pag-uusapan rin natin yon, but of course, mas lalaliman natin. Today, we're gonna go into the strategies. And I'm sure na baka confused pa kayo, baka marami kayong questions when it comes to mutual funds. So, itatackle natin yan because today we will be having Sir JC, of course, our CEO in Investa. And we have a special guest, no, si Jory, ang ating Investa ambassador, later on to talk about the strategies when it comes to mutual funds. And of course, diba, meron din tayong ini-invite palagi na influencer, si Sir Josh Salazar. So I'm sure kilala nyo siya. If nakita nyo siya sa TikTok, His username is I am Josh Salazar. So kindly follow him as well. No? I-share niya yung journey niya, no, sa personal finance, paano siya nag-invest, and he will tie up everything, yung experiences niya para mas maka-relate tayo, mas maintindihan natin yung mga bagay-bagay, bakit ito importante. And of course, later, the meat of our presentation or the meat of our session will be with Sir Marty Enrile, who is the BPI Investment Management Incorporated President. No, he will be joining us along with Sir Jan Bueno, who is the BIMI Wholesale Distribution Officer, and they will shed light, no, dun sa mutual funds na in-offer nila, and they will be offering that to the Investa app. No? So I hope excited kayo. I'm sure meron kayong mga tanong mamaya. Later on, we will also have a question and answer portion. So guys, don't be shy. No, if you have any questions in mind during this presentation, during the talks, during the educational parts of this session, no, feel free to ask us later. And shout out to everyone who is here. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a very special event for us, for our partners. And ayoko nang patagalin because today, I'd like to call on one of our ambassadors sa Investa, si Boss Jory Caraca. So Jory, are you here? I'd like to invite you in the stream. I'm sure namimiss ka na ng ating mga ka-Investa. Alright, Jory,
Yes,
kumusta ka
hello
naman?
Renzo, and good evening everyone. Right, I feel good. Syempre, mag-share na naman tayo ng another mutual fund series with our ka-Investa. So, yan.
Alright, exciting. So ayoko nang patagalin. I'd like to give the floor to you, Boss Jory.
Alright, thank you, Renzo. Okay, so let's share the screen lang. Okay, wala pa ata, no? Ayan. Okay, so for this event, the feeling is mutual. We are sharing you guys bakit mutual funds, and you might be clueless kung ano bang meron dito, di ba? What is mutual fund? How do you generate money from this kind of investment? So the reason why we're here is to give light when it comes to investing in in MF or mutual fund. So what should you do? What should you know? How are you gonna do it, and what happens next? So, okay, next slide, please. So, of course, we are happy to announce that Investa has launched the new Investa app, and we are inviting you guys to check it out and para mag-invest na din kayo sa mutual fund offerings na meron dito. So, if you want to know where you can have it, you can still get the early access. Punta lang kayo sa www.investagrams.com/investa and wait for a confirmation email, and that's it. Pretty simple. Next slide, please. So I'm gonna show you how mutual funds actually work. So basically, it starts with the investors. So that's you. Many more people investing in a specific fund. Then your money is gonna get pulled together. Yung mga pera or investments na to, ang mag-handle niyan yung mga fund managers. They're the ones who's gonna be acting on your behalf. Sila na ang bahalang mag-manage niyan kung paano nila i-invest sa different kinds of securities such as stocks, bonds, government securities, and many more. With of course the intention to generate returns. Yeah. So okay, next slide. You may ask, bakit ako diyan mag-i-invest, di ba? So the number one reason is because your money loses its value over time. Huh? Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? So example, sa katanungang hanggang saan aabot ang 1,000 pesos mo? Dati nung mga bata, or rather bata-bata pa tayo, if you can remember, sa halagang 1,000 pesos, ang dami-dami mo nang mabibili, di ba? So halos isang cart kaya mapuno niyan yung groceries mo. Pero sa generation ngayon, of course, baka kaya na lang mapuno niyan isang basket na lang sa supermarket. And even before dati, tanda ko, yung nanay ko binibili ako ng Yakult. So, 5 pesos lang yun ang isa. Pero ngayon magkano na, 9 to 10 pesos na, 'di ba? And basically, that's what we call inflation. Kada taon 'yan, tumataas ang bilihin pero mas konti nabili. Siyempre, ayaw natin 'yun, so dapat may counter inflation tayo. Okay, next slide please. So, since mutual fund is very ideal for long-term holding, let's check a compounding scenario. So, let's say meron kang initial investment na 10,000 pesos and there's an estimated 15% growth per year. Per se, the markets are in a bull run or pataas ang galaw ng market. Kung tatanungin nyo yung mga traders, actually 15% is a really good number for big companies in terms of growth. Going back, year 1, if you deposited 10,000 pesos after 5 years, it could become 20,000 pesos. Year 6, let's say you still have the 20,000 pesos holding it. After 5 years with the same percent growth per year, your 20,000 becomes 40,000. And let's say you started to invest at an early age, teenager, or maybe some of the parents out there nag-iinvest na din sila para sa mga anak nila. With the same ideal scenario from year 1 to 30, you accumulated 640,000 in this mutual fund investment. Then after 5 years, it might actually become 1.28 million on year 35. And there's so much more potential when you combine good investing practices, patience, and having successive investments. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so we'll give you 4 case scenarios for a compounding simulation. Also same 5 years. So, case 1, if you have an initial deposit of 10,000, pero hindi ka naman nagdadagdag ng deposit, say 0 ka lang per year. So that initial deposit still 10,000, pero the market has a bullish bullish market of 15% per year. So that could accumulate you 20,000, around 20,000 pesos after 5 years. Then case number 2, same 10,000 pero nagdadagdag ka ng 10,000 kada taon for 5 years. So that's 50,000. And if ever still ideal bullish scenario is 15% per year, that could accumulate you to 97,000 as your final value for 5 years. Third case, 10,000 per year. Tapos hindi ka ulit nagde-deposit kada taon. And the market is on its good condition, say 8% per year. So 10,000, 4,000 will be added to your the initial deposit. So that's gonna be around 14,000 for the final value. And our last scenario, say 10,000 again. Pero nagdadagdag ka ng 10,000 per year again. And the market percentage is around 8% kada taon for 5 years. So that's 50,000 plus your 8% for 5 years compounding. That would total up to 78,000 as your final value. So ayun. I hope you understand the value of compounding interest sa gantong scenarios. So for our next slide. So if you will ask, when's the best time to buy, diba? Actually, anytime is the best time to buy. You just have to start. Sabi nga ng Nike, diba? Just do it. Because you never know kung kailan ba yung perfect time na yun. And waiting will usually result in paying you at a higher price. So, kailangan mong mag-focus on getting started. Become regular about building your capital, and that will compound over the years. Okay, next slide, please. So why choose this kind of investment? First, of course, your money is in good hands. In good hands meaning I'm talking about the professionals who have acquired experience, because experience is the most important thing in these kinds of investment industries, right? And second, of course, these fund managers, magaling sila mag-adjust and mag-adapt. And they realign the weightings of portfolio ng mga assets. So, if they see some underperforming assets, ililipat nila yan sa mga may potential growth. And lastly, cost effectiveness diversification. This happens when you have limited buying power. So you have a taste of everything in small portions sa murang halaga lang. Not compared to when you invest in just stocks lang and not the fund. You only get one stock and you cannot even diversify that if you have limited money. So yun. Okay, for our last slide, I guess. So how many funds should I buy? Yan. For the starters, one fund actually is enough because funds in general are already well diversified. With experience, kung you already have one fund and you want to diversify more, you can bump into 2 or 3 more funds, whatever you want actually. If you want to try other categories, maybe you want to try global or mga fixed income fund, yung mga bonds or mga government securities, or why not, diba? And it all depends on what fits you best. So I guess for the next slides, I'll be giving the floor to our Investa CEO, Sir JC. And thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Jory, for your presentation. Rinig naman ako?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll be continuing the discussion. So, ano ba yung mga rules and mga errors na dapat iwasan kapag pumapasok tayo sa mutual fund? And kapag hinambing natin sa realidad ng markets, yung ups and downs, paano ba dapat tayo dumiskarte sa pagdating sa isang long-term investment asset kagaya ng mutual fund? So, let's go. So, first is, ang kadalasan sa market or sa mga traders, pinagtatawanan natin yung concept ng cost averaging. In reality, marami ring yumaman sa cost averaging eh. Kapag nakita mo yung may mga success stories na may hawak ng Ayala Land, Jollibee, or other mutual funds na sila na yung nag-invest dun sa mga stocks na malalakas, no? So kapag kinumpara natin, ba't ba mahirap, ba't usually pinagtatawanan yung cost averaging sa stock market? Ang iniba kasi, pag magko-cost averaging ka sa stock market tas wala kang tamang listahan or framework ng pagpili ng mga stocks na papasukan mo, edi hahati-hatiin mo pa yung pera mo. So para sa ating mga kunyari regular employee ka, maglalagay ka 5,000, 10,000, paano mo ihahati yun? So most likely yung cost averaging mechanism, ang nangyayari is nahihirapan yung normal investor para i-diversify yung portfolio niya. So doon pa lang, isang stock ko to lalagay. So anong nangyayari, pipili sila ng brand name or company na sikat. So meron akong mga nakita dahil paborito ng Pilipino yung alak. So sa San Miguel siya nag-cost averaging. Pero kahit na ang laki ni San Miguel by revenue and market cap, isa sa mga biggest companies and most known brands, in terms of stock performance, hindi siya ganun ka-solid. So kung yun yung kinos averaging mo just because para siyang solid na Filipino brand, marami sa mga stock investor ay natatalo, 'di ba? So ang hirap balansehin, ang hirap hati-hatiin ng isang 10,000 pesos kada buwan, which differs in mutual funds. Kung sa mutual fund mo kinos average yung 10,000, nama-micro units na yan, napupool na yan kasama dun sa buong portfolio ng fund manager. Tapos, sila na bahala mag-diversify for you. So, hindi ka napapasok dun sa limit na 8,000 rule per transaction. Alright? Tapos, syempre, may mga solid na names sa stock market like Ali, mayroong mga JFC, di ba? Tapos ngayon, si Globe. So, may mga ganyan. May mga blue chips na ang lakas ng trend. Pero, pag nagkataon naman na nagkamali ka, kunyari nalagay mo yung blue chip na downtrend or value play na never na talagang tumaas, usually, ang ginagawa na lang ng mga nagko-cost averaging is pinapanindigan na lang nila forever. So ang iniba nito kapag ikaw lang yung nagko-cost averaging versus sa mutual fund ka nagko-cost averaging, yung mga professional portfolio managers nagre-reallocate yan every quarter or when they see strategic shifts in their portfolio. Depende na lang sa analysis nila sa market. So yun, kumbaga, na-adjust na yung portfolio mo automatically. Meron ng strategy component and rebalancing component. Alright? So, to compare the two, kaya naman yung cost averaging sa stocks, pero parang mas mahirap siya gawin kung 5,000 to 10,000 lang lalagay mo. Ang hirap hati-hatiin nun, malulugi ka sa fees. So kung alam nyo yan sa stock trader, search nyo yung 8,000 peso minimum rule. Tapos sa mutual fund, isang bagsakan, tapos na-distribute ka niya kaagad. Yun yung pinaka-core core concept niyan. Tapos kung magkamali ka man sa simula, sa mutual funds, inire-reallocate yung portfolio para sumunod dun sa mga biggest cap, sa mga pinaka-relevant na names sa market. Alright, so next. So ito naman, isa sa mga idolo ko na nung nagsisimula ako mag-invest. Share ko lang yung story ako, no. Kaya ako na-inspire mag-talk bago pa dumating yung Instagrams. Kaya ako nag-inspire mag-share sa mga colleges, sa mga kapwa kong estudyante nung time na yun, kung bakit ba dapat mag-stock market sila or mag-invest. Is ever since, naalala ko yung nanay ko, mga lolo-lola ko, ganyan, yung mga relatives natin, binibigyan tayo ng pera, di ba? 2,000, 5,000. Tapos ang sinasabi, tago mo sa bangko yan para lumago. Tago mo sa bangko yan para lumago. Yun yung tumatak sa utak ko. Pero nung napasok na ako sa kolehiyo, tapos sa finance world, doon ko nakita na, tago ko sa bangko para lumago. Yung mga bangko, ang binibigay ay 1% or less. So meaning, kahit 10 years, 15 years mo ilagay sa bangko, ang neto na makukuha mo, 10 to 15%. Kung yung traditional na 1% yung bigay, generous na nga yun among traditional banks. Ngayon, mayroon ng mga digital banks na nagbibigay 4%, 6%, may mga ganyang offers na, di ba? Pero nung time na yun, 2012, nakita ko, less than 1% yung bigay nila. So, yun talaga yung nag-push sa akin na karamihan ng Pinoy, akala nila yung bangko yung magpapalago ng pera nila. But in reality, ang dami naman palang investment opportunities na legit, hindi yung mga power. So, doon nagsimula yung pag-share ko sa stock market. Kinikwento ko lang na, meron palang ganito. And ito yung activation na na as Filipinos, 1% to 2% pa lang nag-i-invest sa atin into mga stocks or mutual funds, yung mga legitimate investments. Ibig sabihin, karamihan sa atin, tulog pa rin yung kapital. So dito pumapasok yung value nung mga investment opportunities gaya nitong mutual funds. So si William O'Neill, isa siya sa mga magagaling na growth investor or traders. So yung mentality niya, magfo-focus lang siya sa growth stocks. Tapos bibilin niya yung mga stocks na malakas yung trend, and hanggang nagte-trend, hahawakan niya. So isa sa mga naging role model ko to. Pero hindi lang siya purely trading, ina-appreciate niya yung value ng investing. So meron sa libro niya, ano ba yung in-emphasize niya doon? Ano ba yung nadadagdag, naambag na value ng mutual fund investing sa atin? Kasi hindi lahat ng tao kaya magbantay sa investments nila. Hindi lahat ng tao kaya yung psychological imbalances, kasi yung market up and down yan Mamaya up, pag CR mo, down na. So, mapapraning ka talaga. So, dito pumapasok yung mutual funds na para sa mga tao na gusto lang, chill lang, stable lang, yung mga professionals na bahala sa'yo. Ito yung mga pinoint out ni William O'Neill na dapat nating iwasan. So, let's go to them. Discuss natin. Una, pag pinasok mo tong mutual fund, kaya ako minention yung savings. When you go at this, di ba? Kung kaya nga natin nung kabataan natin, nakikinig tayo sa mga lolo-lola natin na itago lang yung mga pera-pera natin, di ba? Pero hindi naman pala lumalago sa bangko halos. Then, same principle itong mutual fund na kung sana yung tinago nating pera, yung mga inipon natin ay pinark natin dito. Hindi naman kailangan lahat, kasi may mga concepts like savings, emergency funds, and etc. Pero a big part of that, kung napasok mo sa mga funds na consistent na yung performance or medium lang or low yung risk, then ang layo nung darating niya. Yung magugulat ka na instead na tinago mo yung pera mo sa baul for 5 to 10 years, kung sa mutual fund mo nilagay, mas lumago na sana siya, gaya ng mga example ni Jory. So when we approach mutual funds, hindi siya short-term stint lang na 1 to 2 years, double your money. It's a commitment na part ng pera mo, i-decide mo talaga, okay, ito yung exposure ko sa equity markets or sa bond markets, lalagay ako ng part ng income ko dito. So just to give you an idea, sa US, equities pa rin or yung stock market pa rin yung best performing assets, di ba? So yung mutual funds, karamihan ng funds dito nag-i-invest sa stock market. So sa US, nasa 8 to 10% per annum yung average ng mga index nila doon. So ayun, talong-talo niya yung usual na binibigay sa bangko. May mga risk, 'di ba, syempre. Pero at the same time, pag in-average mo over a long period of time, it beats a lot of yung mga traditional na ano lang, safekeeping ng pera. Okay, next. Yung isa pa dito is worrying about management fee, turnover rate, etc. Yung mga nuances ng mutual fund. So of course, we will always have to, gusto natin tignan yan eh. Gusto natin makatipid, ano yung pinakamura, ano ba yung mga walang penalty kapag winidraw mo, etc. Pero pag sobrang dami mong inisip, mas mahirapan ka mag-analyze. Ang pinaka-strategiya lang para tignan yung funds is sa Investa platform, ngayon, sa Investa charts actually, meron na yan yung mga mutual fund NAV charts nilagay natin. So search nyo sa chart. Pero pag nakuha nyo na yung the new Investa app, yung investment platform natin, nakatrack na rin dyan yung mga historical performance ng kada fund. So doon nyo siya ma-analyze eh. Year on year, sino ba yung mga pinaka-low risk dito? Year on year, sino yung mga matataas yung returns? So makikita nyo naman na karamihan ng mga funds, halos wala silang difference masyado in terms of fee structures. So it's a competitive industry in the Philippines. So most of them will try to do with the minimum. Kumbaga kung ano yung pinaka-fair or minimum, yun na yung mababang funds. Tapos yun na yung mababang fees. Tapos kung makita ka naman ng mahal na fees, example sa USA, may mga hedge fund managers or fund managers na mataas yung fees nila. Pero that doesn't mean na pangit yung yung investment kasi minsan they have the right to charge higher fees. So may mga malulupit, kung isa-search nyo si Renaissance Fund, pwede nyo tignan yan. Parang ang kaltas nila sa fund nila, sa profits nung mga kliyente nila, 40%, if I'm not mistaken, mga ganun, 30 to 40%. Yet, kapag tinanggal mo yung fee na yun, isa pa rin sila sa top performing funds sa buong mundo. So my point here is, wag ka kaagad matakot sa mga fees kasi normal part of the business yan. And most of these funds will have competitive rates. Ang tignan mo yung net on net return and performance nila. Next, please. So being affected by news in the market. So tayo mga trader, ako personally, trader ako. May mga long-term investments ako on the side. Tapos, ang iniba talaga, so naranasan ko yung both worlds. Pag trader ka, nagre-react ka rin sa news. Kumbaga, kung bigla tayong minartial law, parang magugulat ka eh, di ba? Parang maapektuhan ka, parang iisipin mo, ano kayang epekto nito sa market? Shit, kailangan ko bawasan yung portfolio ko. So, ganun yung mga traders in anticipation na kung babagsak, kailangan umalis muna tayo. Kasi we're playing in the shorter time frame. Ganun yung framework and strategy nung karamihan ng traders, di ba? Pero kapag pinanindigan mo na long-term investor ka or mutual fund investor ka, hindi mo masyado mina-micro yung decisions and yung time frame mo, mas spread siya into a bigger statistic, longer term, di ba? So kapag may ganong balita na, martial law, so alam mo, bababa yung market, baka iba na yung approach mo as a mutual fund investor or a long-term investor. So alam mo, ka-crash yung market 10-20%, tapos baka naman mag-recover after nun. Diba? Parang pag tinignan mo, intact pa rin naman yung mga private companies sa Pilipinas, growing pa rin yung economy regardless of economic or political news. So pwede mong i-take yung chance na yun na okay, may mini crash or mini reaction sa balita, gagamitin ko to buy at a cheaper level. So pwedeng ganun. Iba yung reaction mo sa news pag investor ka. Parang it's really a more peaceful journey, di ba? Pero ang downside naman is you have to commit and wait for a longer period of time for you to acknowledge that peace para di ka maapektuhan. So next. Ayun, ito. So selling out during bad markets. Ginawa ng study rin to ni William O'Neill and marami ring mga studies dyan na yung contrary sa mga traders na ang hinahanap natin ay momentum, mga excitement, yung mga long-term investors, nagta-thrive sila kapag yung market ay mas nagiging mura. Pag mukhang tipong marami nang sumusuko sa merkado, yun na yung maximum point of pessimism eh. And at the same time, dun rin lumalabas yung value plays. So if as a mutual fund investor, consistent ka sa paglagay ng capital, even through the bad times, and as long as yung overall economy or asset class na pinapasukan ng mutual fund na pinili mo is generally bullish pa rin on the long term, then wala kang problema. Yung mga correction na yun will be opportunities for you to deploy more funds. All right, next. Tapos ito, same with the timing horizon. So when you become an investor, ito yung ang kinaganda niya, yun yung peaceful path to richness, 'di ba? Ang kinaganda nito is simula pa lang na-acknowledge mo na na okay, may negosyo ako na kumikita 1 million a month o 500k a month, or may trabaho ako na kumikita 30k to 50k a month. Gusto ko mag-focus dito gusto ko mag-focus sa craft ko, gusto ko mag-focus sa passion ko. So dinecide mo na sa sarili mo na okay, I'll make the money work for me. I don't even have to micro the details to spend countless or thousands of hours analyzing the charts or monitoring the market. I'll focus on refining my craft. Kasi that is another form of investing, di ba? Yung kunyari, gumaling ka as a designer, as a developer, as a speaker, as a basketball player, or whatever your craft is. Kung dun mo dinicide yung focus ng buhay mo, then okay lang na baka dun mo na ma-magnify yung income mo. And then kung ano man yung kinakaltas mo papunta sa mutual funds, hindi mo na siya kailangan bantayan, di ba? Kasi yun nga, professionally managed na siya. So, hindi mo na kailangan matakot kung babagsak ba siya kasi simula pa lang, alam mo na this is not my main thing. Di ba? This is just my extra money working for me. I'm just taking advantage of it. So with that, alam mo na regardless kung ano mangyari sa markets, nandyan lang yan, the professionals will do their part, they will manage the risks, they will do the decision making, and ako, as a player, as a gamer, as a corporate worker, as a businessman, gagalingan ko dito ko imumultiply yung focus ko. So ganun yung approach kung long term tayo on the regular scheme of things in life. So next. Ito, magandang example. Paano yung mga approach? Ano yung mga sample strategies and approach sa mutual fund investing, lalo na kapag may mga extreme na galawan. So yung COVID, 'di ba? Ito hindsight lang, 'di ba? Pero dinidiscuss lang natin as a case study. So yung COVID, March 2020, nagkawasakan, tipong yung market bumaba 10%, 20% sa isang araw. So historical 'yun ha. Walang ever na nangyaring ganun sa history ng Pilipinas. Yun yung pinakamalala. But then, tapos panic is everywhere out of the COVID. Pero pag tinignan mo, at that certain point in time, kung dun ka pumasok, di ba? Kung sinunod mo yung principles na, okay, mababa yung market, may fear dito. Pero ano ba? Yung mga negosyo ba, magsasarado ba yan? Warranted ba na sobrang mag-drop yung mga stocks to 50 to 80%? At some point, kung hindi naman magsi-0% si Ayala Land, di ba? Or si Jollibee, kahit na nagsarado yung branches niyan, alam naman natin na okay, may recovery point rin yan. So kapag ganun yung mga senaryo na laganap na yung panic versus yung logic ng negosyo, na alam mo naman na nandyan pa rin yung mga negosyo, dun mo makikita yung mga greatest discrepancies in opportunity and price. So tignan natin tong chart na to. Next. So I placed the chart here. So dalawang approach yan. Tignan nyo tong blue line. So this is the blue line. This is the MA 240. 240 days. So parang estimate moving average lang siya na nagtatrack. Ina-average niya yung closing prices for the last 240 days. Sorry. Or equivalent sa isang taon. Equivalent sa isang taon ng mga weekdays ng trading, di ba? Kasi 20 days per week yung weekdays, yung trading days, tapos the rest weekends. So papansin nyo dito, ito sinusundan niya. And the moving average line depicts the trend of the market. So dalawang approach yan. Usually sa traders, gusto nila na papasok sila kapag yung presyo ng market ay above the moving average line, yung 240. So kunyari dito, ayan yung nag-break yung PSE diyan sa 240 ay sa blue line, yung nasa above yan, excited diyan yung mga traders. And ngayon, yung current sentiment ngayon, 'di ba? We're hovering above the blue line. So excited yung mga traders, maganda yung view sa market. Pero yung approach sa mga long-term investing and value investing is kapag nag-iiyakan karamihan ng tao, nandun yung value discrepancy. Parang dun mo makikita usually yung mga magagandang chance bumili. So kagaya nito, assuming hindi natin na-perfect yung timing sa pagbili, no? So nilagyan ko lang ng orange box kada buwan. So hindi natin alam, wala tayong alam sa charts. Basta pag below yung market sa MA 240, bibili tayo monthly. So bili ka dito, bili ka doon. Tapos every month yan, bibili ka. So naka-accumulate ka ng mga PSE-related funds or mutual funds na nag-expose sa PSE during the down phase. Tapos ngayon, so over time, ngayon, tinatrack natin, nasa na ba yung average na presyo ngayon? So, nandito around 6.8. So, estimate lang to. So, kunwari, yung na-accumulate mo for one whole year, 6.8. 10% up ka na with today's market. Ngayong 7.375 siya. So, yun yung isang benefit no na wala ka masyadong iniisip. Nag-ipon ka lang sa kada buwan. Sinundan mo lang yung average. Ito, pang-guide lang tong average pricing. No? Iba-iba pa rin yung performance ng mutual fund. Pero assuming na yung acquisition mo is sumunod lang dun sa MA 240, then okay, profit ka na. Tapos ngayon, paano natin lalagyan ng strategy? Yung sinasabi ko, pwede mong i-micro, i-time yung mga pagbili mo sa investments. Kunwari yung market ay below the MA, the long-term moving average, pwedeng dun ka mag-aggressive. Kasi yung thought process mo, if na-analyze mo naman na okay, wala namang sobrang problema and makaka-recover naman yung mga negosyo, okay, sige. Increase ko yung allocation ko by 30%. So kung dating 10K, baka gawin mo 13K or 15K, pwedeng ganun. So mas nagdo-double down ka during the times na may value. Malayo yung malayo yung PSE dun sa positive sentiment. Pwedeng ganun. Ang tawag dito ay contrarian investment. No? It's not for all. Pero if you're analyzing over the long term, di ba? It will work. Not unless na lang parang yung isang bansa nagsarado talaga tapos tuloy-tuluyan na bankrupt. Ayun, ibang sitwasyon na yun. No? Pero in the regular scheme of things, kung yung economy, gaya ng Philippines, growing economy naman, gagana yung mga ganitong approach. Tapos kapag above MA 240 ka, pwedeng lesser yung allocations mo, ganun. So may mga ganong diskarte. So you have to formulate. Pwede nyong i-backtest yan. Ano ba yung magandang approach? Equal ba kada buwan? Or mas ba ako? Kapag below the trend the MA, the moving average line, the long-term moving average, mas mag-aggressive ba ako? Kaya i-commit to? So titignan nyo. Pwede nyong i-observe tong studies na to para ma-calculate nyo ano yung differences niya. Meron rin naman yung mga trading principles na mas nag-aggressive sila if yung market ay above the long-term MA. So momentum investing naman yung tawag nun. So iba-ibang approach. Both will work. Both can work. Ang tanong na lang is paano mo i-execute and saang asset mo siya ini-execute. Okay. So that's it for my presentation. May next slide pa ba dito? Ayun. So last question is, how and where to buy mutual funds. So, eto na. So, papakita ko sa inyo. Next slide, please. So, ayun. This is the new Investa app. Actually, it's fun because may mga transaction nang pumapasok dito. So, we're in closed beta testing. So, in the next few weeks, dinistribute na namin siya to the first hundreds of users and thousands next. So we'll slowly distribute this to the public soon. So yung mga nag-first access, yung mga naka-email, paantay na lang. So in 1 to 2 weeks siguro, kayo na yung next. No? So we're taking it slow para stable yung execution natin and yung operation. So nakakatuwa kasi in the history of Investa being a startup, we would never have imagined na we would be able to be an investment platform to activate an actual investment, a true investment. And yung ako pangarap ko personally, for us na edukado, given na yan we have access to these financial tools, online brokers, online classes, etc. Pero yung isa kong pangarap is, someday, sana yung mga farmers, mga fishermen, yung mga hindi naman usually nagkaka-access sa ganito, pero may income sila na extra, Sana maturuan rin natin sila mag-invest. And it's very possible given how we designed the new Investa app. So yun yung pangarap natin dito na it would be as easy to invest in this app, and then lahat ng Pilipino ay magagamit ito. All right. So that's it for my presentation. Meron pa ba, Renz?
Alright. Ayun. So, thank you so much, Boss JC. No, I'm sure maraming natutunan ang ating mga ka-investa today. And wag kayo alis, no? If meron kayong questions, guys, make sure to comment those questions below. Mamaya, meron tayong question and answer portion with sila Sir JC, sila Sir Erwin, and the BPI team, no? So, Sir JC, maraming salamat. And Sir JC, just a quick question, no? How do we...
Yeah.
No, we are doing the Investa app, and ano yung kulang? Ano yung kulang sa ganitong technology, and what are we doing to really improve the user experience when people join and when people invest in this new app that we have?
Interesting. Ano yung kulang sa mutual fund platform o kulang sa mundo ng investments in general?
Sa mga mutual fund platforms, and of course, pwede mo rin i-extend to the investing world.
Hindi. Yung investing world, gawin na lang natin kung ano yung kulang. So, yung isang kulang, nag-aantay kayo ng trading platform, darating rin tayo dyan. Tapos, yung sa mutual funds, siguro, marami kasing options. So, in the future, we will continue to help out our users sa Investa kung paano ba mapili yung best fund talaga para sa inyo. Tapos, to the point na sobrang dali na ng investing. Yung tipong, yun na-imagine ko is parang, yun, kunyari, ikaw, tinatanong mo ko, JC, ano bang magandang investment? Tapos, nabibigay ko na sa'yo kaagad. And alam mong credible yung mga irereko ko sa'yo. Yung formulas na bibigay ko sa'yo. So, gusto nating padaliin palalo. Kumbaga, pag tinignan mo yung app, kung mukha na siyang fun and simple, kulang pa yun. Gusto natin na, yung sabi ko nga, paano mo matuturuan yung farmer and fisherman kung hindi siya aware on the financial world? So we as innovators, we have to put an effort there. How do we empower every Filipino literally? So yun yung next step. Kumbaga, okay, may app ka na, may maganda-ganda na, cute na yung design, simple naman gamitin, pero it's not yet enough. How do we serve those who are really in need? Yun yung next step.
Yun. Thank you so much for that. Sobrang inspiring and sobrang exciting ng journey natin with the mutual fund space and the investment space in general. So thank you, Sir JC. See you later again, no, to answer questions na meron yung audience natin.
All right. Thanks, friends.
All right. I hope nag-enjoy kayo, guys, and I hope marami kayong natutunan, because the next one, no, we're gonna tie in everything else, the experiences, because we invited a special influencer. His name is Josh Salazar. You can find him on TikTok as I am Josh Salazar. No, hindi lang siya influencer. He is also a certified public accountant. He is a certified tax technician, and he is also the head of finance and accounting in Metropolitan Insurance Company Incorporated, no. So he is here to share his story, no. Quick lang, of course, marami siyang ma-share sa atin na advice, and marami tayong makukuha na lessons from his journey. So I'd like to call on Sir Josh Salazar here in the stream with us. So Sir Josh, are you here? There you go. Kumusta, Sir Josh?
Ayun. So, Renzo, okay lang naman, no? Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome, and I'm truly honored and humbled to be here. Ayun, to share my investing journey as well.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. It's an honor to meet you, and I'm sure excited na yung mga ka-invest natin. So, I'd like to give the floor to you, Sir Josh.
Ayun, so thank you again, Renzo, no, for that wonderful welcome. And ayun, truly honored talaga ako, especially I grew and learned with Investagrams when I started investing pa lang. Napakalaking inspiration kasi noon, as well siya, no, with my friends, nung vision ni Investa na I hope that somewhat I can be part of that vision in my own way. Kaya I started creating educational content then about investing, adulting, and any other passive income opportunities, katulad ng mutual funds nga. Ayun. Pero before I started creating content about investments and personal finance, Just like the majority, zero knowledge rin talaga ako. Buti na lang I was blessed with series of fortunate events na leading up to this point, with the first event being in class. So medyo ano lang talaga, makagulat lang kasi na natutunan ko investments in class. Yung ibang lessons ko nung college, nakalimutan ko na, pero ito, dinala ko talaga siya until I graduated, and up until now, dala-dala ko pa rin. So magta-throwback lang ako ng saglit. So naalala ko nung 2012, economics class namin nun. Lesson siya ng supply and demand. Yung professor ko, madalas doon siyang nagsasabi ng points for improvement sa isang particular company, sa mga employees ng mismo. Hindi naman daw kasi sa pagiging bossy or invasive, pero she's protecting her interest daw kasi stockholder daw siya nitong particular company na to. Di ako at the back of my mind, what? Paano siya naging stockholder? Eh di sobrang yaman mo nun. Grabe, big deal pala tong prof namin. So yun yung naging initial impression ko nung that day. Kailangan mo na siguro na at least 6 days just to be a stockholder. Parang sobrang yaman mo talaga kailangan before being able to invest. So may na-ignite sa akin that day. Pero meron din naman naging limiting belief na at the same time, 6 digits kailangan ko. How can a student start something like that, di ba? Or kaya siguro graduate ako at magkaroon ng work. Ilang months or siguro years kailangan ko magtrabaho just so that I can be a stockholder. So I shrugged it off. Siguro next time na lang pag nagkatrabaho na ako at yumaman. So fast forward to 2016, I started working after I took the board and the pass. So afterwards, I worked in one of the top audit firms. So yung mga clients namin, big companies talaga. Tapos mga listed in the stock exchange yung iba. And what I did, I saved money para makapag-invest ako. Pero syempre, di ako nakapag-ipon. And fortunately enough, may natabi ako sa bonus, and yun yung ginamit ko so that I can start investing. Yung experience ang hirap niya i-describe yung pag-start pala ng investing mo kasi parang ito yung start of the future. Yung tipong ito na ba yung first step ko in being rich. And fortunately enough, yun nga. Pero hindi pa ako rich ngayon . So disclaimer lang. So my colleagues as well na parang nag-invite-invitan kami on attending a seminar. Nag-start rin sila mag-invest during that year as well. So nag-leave kami para lang maka-attend ng seminar on how to start investing. And laking gulat ko nung nalaman ko na I can start investing for as low as 5,000 lang. And surprisingly, right now, 1,000 lang yung need mo. So yun yung nakita kong ibang platforms. Pwede ka na makapagsimula. And isa yun sa points given ni Sir JC earlier, na hindi mo naman talaga alam kung how much initially yung kailangan mo so that you can start investing. Pero thanks to the seminars, malalaman mo talaga. And same as me, ang akala ko talaga, katulad ng maraming Pinoy, malaking capital yung need mo just to start. Yung seminar yun, nakapag-open up sa akin ng concept of financial freedom or independence kung tatawagin. And na-inspired ako. I was motivated to reach that goal as well. So, noong una, gusto ko lang talaga matawag na stockholder ako ng isang sikat na company kasi more on bragging rights. And from that seminar, I learned as well yung compounding interest na na-mention kanina ni Jory sa business math namin. But to hear that during the seminar, nag-open siya ng wonders and opportunities. So, ganun pala talaga yung concept of compounding interest kasi akala ko lang siya, sa mga loans lang siya nagagamit. Pero gumagana rin pala siya sa mga savings, and I believe hindi siya ganun kalaking impact whenever you're going to save. So, yung seminar na yun, I got a deeper why on I want to invest. Why do I want to invest it? It mattered kasi para there's something that will make me really want to invest regularly and consistently. So, most of us during that day started 2 accounts. So, yung iba nag-direct and yung iba nag-mutual funds. I started both of them kasi ando naman talaga . So, kaya nilubos-lubos ko na. Nagkataon lang na sobrang busy ko kaya hindi ko masyadong tutukan yung trading account. Kaya I sold my shares, nag-transfer na lang rin ako sa mutual funds. And surprisingly, ang ganda ng decision. So, in general, investing is a good decision. And yung paglipat ko in mutual funds, it worked wonders for me. So, ito yung mga 4 benefits na nag-create ng positive impact in my life nung nag-start ako ng mutual funds. Ayun. So, katulad nga nung sabi ni Jory earlier, so ito yung first, professionally manage yung mga funds, tapos sila na yung bahala mag-diversify. Sila na bahala bumili ng stocks, kung saan nila nakikita ang company na maganda. Kasi sa stock market, if ever mag-trade ka directly, hindi lahat ng stock sa stock market natin profitable or maganda yung stock performance. So, sabi nga ni Sir JC earlier na kahit maganda yung company na napili mo, hindi siya guarantee na magiging maganda yung stock performance. So, possible na bumili ka ng isang magandang company nga, pero pangit yung stock performance. So, parang nonsense lang rin yung pagbili ng stocks mo. Ayun. So, meron akong colleague na bumili ng isang stock kasi gusto niya daw yung company na yon. Tapos nakalimutan niyang tignan. So, ayun, lost siya ng 20% after 1 month. Sayang naman yung 20%, diba? And pag chinek mo yung performance until now, medyo mababa talaga. So, sa stock market kasi, nahati siya into 2 types yung mga stocks. Yung leaders and laggards. Leaders, ito talaga yung mga malalakas na companies with great stock performance. Tapos laggards naman yung mga di kagandahan yung stock performance. Yung mga fund managers kasi, usually, they choose leader stocks. Kaya most often than not, na-outperform nila yung average performance ng stock market. Katulad nga na sabi ni Sir JC earlier na yung MA 240. So, usually na-outperform talaga nila yon kasi okay yung pagpili nila ng stocks. And yun yung main reason kung bakit pinili ko yung mutual funds. Medyo busy kasi talaga ako and I don't have access sa stock market daily kasi I'm working during daytime. So open lang kasi yung market during my days na 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. lang yung time na nag-start. Kaya di talaga pwede. Tapos parang bilang lang yung brokerages na may mobile app tapos mataas pa yung capital na kailangan mo para lang makapag-avail. Which is somewhat hard for me during those times. Kaya mutual funds talaga was really a perfect fit. Anytime kasi pwede ako mag-invest kahit end of day pa. Tapos yung monitoring niya, pwede ko siyang gawin after yung work hours ko. And second benefit, yung nag-create ng positive impact talaga sa akin is yung habit. Nung nag-start ako mag-invest, naging matipid ako lalo. So nagbabaon ako, tapos nagtitimpla na ako ng kape sa office. Andun yung excitement kasi na nakakapag-invest ka monthly. Nag-start ako ng 5,000, yung initial capital. Tapos, buti na lang pwede 1,000 monthly yung mga subsequent mong deposit. Nag-iipon ako ng 500 pesos ng kada cut-off eh. Tapos, iniipon ko siya, para every month end, nakakapag-invest ako ng at least 1,000 pesos. So, laking tulong talaga nung nagiging matipid ako kasi, nakakapag-invest ako. Tapos, exciting kasi pag naglalagay ka ng 1,000 every time. Ayun. So, third is, may passive income ako. Na-discuss earlier yung inflation, di ba? Yung tipong di na ganun karami na bibili mo after 1 year, especially yung 1K. So in order to combat that, nagseryoso talaga ako in investing. Nakaka-motivate din kasi pag nakikita mo yung lumalago yung investment mo. Dati kasi sa payroll account ko, katiting lang yung nadadagdag every quarter or every month, depende sa bank account. So life-changing talaga nung I started investing. Pero may mga ups and downs naman yung stock market daily. Pero yung net gain nga, katulad nung na-discuss earlier na if ever nag-invest ka average on a monthly basis, ma-outperform na kagad yung stock market on na 10%. Ayun, nag-gain naman ako during that journey. Napakaganda kasi nasaktuhan ka rin yung bull market nun. So, I started investing, nasa 7,000 yung level ng PSEI. And nag-peak siya nung 9,000 nung January 2018 eh. So, ang saya sobra namin ng mga ka-work ko kasi nag-gain kami. And up until now, kami ng mga colleagues ko, we still have our mutual funds. So, nagpe-peso cost average pa rin ako every now and then, especially ngayong pandemic kasi I believe talaga na yung performance of PSEI can really outperform yung peak natin dati, especially pag natapos na yung COVID. So, this is just also my hindsight. Pero I'm betting on that odds. So, para if ever we enter the bull market nga ayun, this time around, mas marami na yung bala ko. So, mas mataas yung capital, mas mataas rin yung gain. And lastly, so, adulting na malupit. I am now looking forward kasi to hear business news. Dati, parang di ba? Parang tito or tita things lang naman yun na yung iba may kita mo sa coffee shop, nagbabasa ng dyaryo. Ay, ano to? Business news. And ironically, ganoon na rin yung ginagawa ko. So, nagbabasa ako ano ginagawa ng mga companies. How are they doing financially right now? It came to a point nga na me and my office mates, nag-check kami ng mga disclosures nung hindi kami masyado busy. So, how will it affect the company that we're investing in? Hindi siya masyadong nakapag-impact sa investment ko. Pero it helped me grow professionally. So, how I view business transactions, how I make business decisions, how I offer business advices. So everything improved because I always think na what if someone invested me on me as well? Will our price grow? So will our company grow? And ayun. So to summarize my points, what I love about mutual funds, first, professionally managed. Dito pumapasok yung quote na kung may mas magaling sa'yo, edi pagawa mo sa kanila, di ba? And I can sleep soundly at night knowing na someone better than me is investing and handling my money for me. And next is habit. I built healthy financial habits so nag-start ako mag-invest. So my mindset improved from poverty to growth mindset talaga. My daily living improved, my finances improved. Third, passive income. So iba talaga yung saya na nakikita mo nag-grow yung pera mo. Knowing I will have funds in the future, whether for my dream business, for a dream trip, or even for my retirement. So meron kang peace of mind na makukuha mo na hindi mo talaga makukuha on savings alone. And lastly is adulting. So dito ko talaga naranasan yung growth mindset kung tawagin. I improved professionally, personally, and financially. And ayun, that's all from me. So back to you, Renz.
Alright. Thank you so much, Sir Josh. Sobrang interesting ng insights, and I agree, no? Medyo nakaka-motivate talaga pag nakapag-save ka, nakikita mo na nag-grow yung money mo instead na natutulog lang siya, no? Thank you for your insights, Sir Josh.
Ay, so thank you, Renz, for the opportunity.
Sir Josh, may quick question lang ako, no, before we move on.
Sige, sure.
So, nasabi ni Jory kanina na kailangan mag-start ka na mag-invest. So, para sa iyo, Sir Josh, how early should people be investing in anything or in mutual funds?
So personally for me talaga if you're going to invest in something like mutual funds or stocks, the best time is now. Kasi we're at a point na medyo pessimistic pa yung mga tao, or ayun, wala pa talaga yung optimism katulad nga na mentioned earlier. And most of these companies have value na na hindi pa siya nare-reflect if ever ma-ease yung pandemic. So if ever you're going to invest, right now yung best talaga. Kasi parang ako kasi value investor ako. So I look at cheap stocks or cheap companies na maganda yung upside. And if ever you're going to invest right now, maganda talaga yung opportunity kasi mababa yung prices ng mga bilihin. Kumbaga parang sale talaga sa stock market.
Alright, tama. I agree. So thank you so much for that insight. Guys, it's not too late and it's not too early. So I hope na makita namin kayo na nag-i-invest na rin sa mga ganitong opportunities. Thank you so much for your time, Sir Josh. Sobrang insightful.
Thank you rin, Renz.
Alright, so there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that session. And of course, meron pa tayong main session because today we invited our very special partners from BPI Investment Management Incorporated. So I just like to thank them because this wouldn't be possible without them. This is a partnership and sobrang nakaka-overwhelm na makakapartner natin ang one of the oldest and one of the biggest banks in Southeast Asia. So sobrang honor na makasama natin sila dito sa session at the same time makapartner with Investa. So today we will be joined by Sir Marty Enrile, who is the BPI Investment Management Incorporated President, and Sir John Bueno, who is the BIMI Wholesale Distribution Officer. So maybe we can start with Sir John here on the stream. And if Sir Marty is here, would you like to say hello na rin sa ating mga ka-investa?
Hi, Renz. Thank you for a warm introduction for BB. So we have here Marty then.
Good evening.
Hello. All right. Good evening, guys. And I'd like to thank you guys in behalf of Investa. This is a big opportunity, and none of this would be possible without you guys. So maraming salamat. And ayoko nang patagalin, because I know that a lot of our ka-investas are excited to hear from you guys. So I'll give the floor to Sir John and later on to Sir Marty. All right.
Thanks, Renz. So let me just go back.
All right, so maybe we can focus Sir John first for his presentation, no?
Ayan. So just want to make sure if kita naman yung slides ko. Okay. So just a little bit of a short background lang sa BMI, no? So BPI Investment Management Inc. BMI in short, para mas madaling sabihin. No? So we are a subsidiary ni BPI. And yun nga, as mentioned earlier ni Renz, so one of the oldest rin kami in the industry with close to 47 years of investment experience. And we have actually 19 mutual funds that we offer. That has, as of end October 2021, 223 billion na. So medyo malaki na rin. And in line with that, malaki rin actually ever-expanding distribution channels. No? And this partnership with Investa adds to that. No? So from that 223 billion, so we have distribution channels from more than 900 branches, more than 500 sales agents, and more than 20 distributors. No? And these channels services at least more than 100,000 retail and institutional clients. No? So to add a little bit more color lang for BMI, no? So we're looking at three main drives. So as mentioned earlier, nasabi ata ni Joshua and the JC and ni Dior na about yung professionally fund managing, no, of investments. No? So one of our key drives, or one of BMI's key drives, is prudent fund management, wherein may set goals yung funds, yung mutual funds. And si BMI ensures that nakasunod siya doon, na we're not overextending risks just to chase for returns, but instead following yung goal ng fund and containing the risk involved with it. Second drive of BMI is accessibility, wherein we look for other channels, other distribution channels para mapadali yung pag-invest nyo sa mutual funds. So nakita naman natin sa pandemic na yung power ng digitalization. No? Prior to that naman, there was a push for digitalization. Medyo mabagal, pero once the pandemic happened, doon nakita natin, no, yung ease of accessibility, yung sobrang daling maka-access using different kinds of apps for shopping, ngayon for investing, yung power ng accessibility ng digitalization. No? So the pandemic pushed it forward. And our partnership in Investa ensures that BMI is taking a step forward in terms of the push for digitalization. And lastly, for affordability naman, BMI looks for other ways, no, to make investing in mutual funds affordable. At the same time, help yung pag-start ng investment journey, as mentioned earlier by our other speakers, no, madami silang stories with their investment journey. So BMI's drive to help you have that investment journey as well, no? By making it easier for you through accessibility, making sure that the funds are performing according to its goals. At the same time, as much as possible, keeping it affordable para at least ma-access mo yung mutual funds, no? And then, in the essence of time naman, I'll just show three main funds ni BMI. No? So to start things off, we have the ALFM Money Market Fund. So ito, usually for our starting investors, no? For newly investors, or at the same time, if existing investor ka na, and you're looking for a more conservative investment, this might be one good option for you, no? So at the same time, if you look at the graph, medyo upward sloping, pero mabagal. Kasi in terms of its strategy, conservative siya. So you can see it on the lower right of the screen, the slide. Makita mo rin yung return, no? So very conservative. And usually, this is where we start off yung mga bagong investors. Kasi hindi naman agad-agad yan papasok ka sa more aggressive funds. You know, you have to ease into investing. Kasi wala namang sigurong sanay agad, no? Without prior experience sa investment, na yung paggalaw ng markets, naiintindihan yung paggalaw ng markets, bakit ganito yung performance ng funds. So we do start it with a conservative approach, na start it conservative, then move on to a more aggressive eventually when you branch out. No? So just going back, again, a conservative fund, a good starting point for new investors. And for existing investors naman na may park na would need to park some funds instead of leaving it sa savings account lang, this would yield you a little bit better naman, no? Versus the savings rate. Now, if you look at the lower right side of the screen, ayan, yung 1 year niya, versus your savings rate, malaking difference, actually. Then moving on to moderately conservative fund. So we have ALFM Peso Bond Fund. Actually, this is our oldest fund in the list. And ito na may next step after ALFM Money Market Fund. So we're looking at investing in bond markets naman this time around versus sa money market wherein it's shorter term. Dito naman looking at bonds that at least 1 year or more. So this is the next step for those who are, or for those investors now who want to branch out, no, coming from the money market, looking for other opportunities. So again, yung ALFM money market natin was a stepping stone to other investment outlets once you get used to how mutual funds work. And in terms of returns, so a little bit better than the money market, since yun nga, a little bit more aggressive yung strategy niya, investing in more corporate bonds, longer tenured bonds versus the money market. And the unique thing about these two funds na diniscuss ko kanina is meron silang valuation na unique. So they have the accrual or amortized cost versus the full mark-to-market. No? So to make it simple lang, yung accrual method or yung amortized cost means hindi siya yung bonds na hawak ng fund, hindi siya affected by price movements, no? Or price volatility. So in this case, dito sa example natin, if you can see the main screen, so 84% yung amortized cost ng fund. So this means 84% ng fund doesn't get affected by price movements. So both ALFM Peso Bond Fund and ALFM Money Market Fund has that unique feature. No? So to really be more caution in terms of times of volatility, pag umakyat ang interest rates, as mentioned earlier, no? Pag gumagalaw ang markets. So caution yung blows sa as a mutual fund rather than getting the full blunt of the market movement, no? Pag fully 100% mark to market. So that's one unique feature of ALFM Peso Bond Fund and ALFM Money Market Fund. And then lastly, so we have our Philippine Stock Index Fund, one of the oldest fund then that we have. So it is an index tracker fund. So follows yung stock exchange index lang natin. So however the stock index performs, it just follows. So this time around naman, we're looking for branching out from bonds and then moving on to equity investments. So wina-widen natin yung investment portfolio. So what yun nga, as mentioned earlier, yung mga stories nila. So we try to help every investor have their own investment journey. So with these funds, hopefully, you can start off with your own. And before I end my presentation, I'd like to give the floor to Marty lang for a few words. Marty?
May static though, but how's it sounding from your end?
All good here. All good here.
Okay, thank you. No, there's a lot of things were shared tonight, and but I learned a lot from what was shared by Jory and JC and Josh, and thank you for sharing your experience with us. No, one of the things I wanted to highlight also with Bini, with our company, is that we're constantly looking for ways to improve on the financial inclusion for our products. You know, investing is not only for the rich. No? In fact, I think for us who are struggling to make savings, or investing is even more important to let our money work for us. And, you know, I'm thrilled to be a part of Investagrams. I think that their platform is excellent. You know, I look at it from time to time. I look at the trading tools. I look at the education that I see from there. And one thing that's good is that being onboarded with Investagrams means you can take your learning one step further and actually, jump in and, with your money and invest. And the products that we're offering you today, the three funds that we mentioned today, for a small amount of money will allow you to even further diversify. Meaning to say, if you have these three components in your portfolio, we're quite aware that markets move in cycles. So sometimes overvalued yung PSE, lipat mo ng konti sa money market. Sometimes, money market is medyo natutulog, i-rebalance natin towards the PSE. Now, not that the products are diversified in themselves, but giving you access to multiple funds that you can put in your portfolio over time and be able to rebalance based on the cycles that we're seeing on the economic ebb and flow, is what we call it. So I hope, I'm very excited. I know this is going to be a very promising partnership. We all know that, as mentioned by John, during the pandemic, na-accelerate yung importance nung hawak-hawak mo yung portfolio mo in your phone, and having an app is crucial for you to be able to monitor, what's going on in your portfolio. And us being onboarded with Investagrams will give the market and the investors the opportunity not just to learn, not just to do virtual analytical trading, but actually jump in and put your money to work. So that's with that, again, thank you everyone for coming, for attending, and we look forward to seeing you all as investors on our funds. Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Thanks, Marty. So I think that ends our presentation. So let me turn it over back to Renz now. So thank you, Renz, for giving us our opportunity to just a little bit of a background on BME and the funds that we offer.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Marty and Sir John. It's really an honor to have you here with us on the stream. And of course, in behalf of Investa, grabe, ako personally, laking BPI ako. No? Dito ako nagkaroon ng savings account, and grabe yung service, sobrang solid talaga. So, thank you, Sir Marty, and thank you, Sir John, for trusting Investa. No? And I hope that this will be a really fruitful and good partnership between us. Maraming salamat po for being here. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Renz.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir. And thank you for your time, because I know that your time and we value each other's time very well. So, I think I'll just all right. So guys, I'm sure marami kayong mga questions na gustong itanong. I'd like to call on Sir JC Bisnar, our CEO, Investa CEO, and of course, today we have Sir Erwin Angeles again with us, who is the Senior Operations and Partnerships Manager, because we want to address the questions that you guys have, whether it's about BPI, BME, or whether it's about the Investa app. So guys, I'd like to ask you guys if you meron kayong interesting questions, meron kayong clarifications with everything that's been said today in this session. But I'd like to start with my own my own question, at least for BPI muna. So, nabanggit nyo, sobrang tagalan ng BPI and yung ALFM Peso Bond Fund, diba, na-launch siya since 1997. So, how do you actually maintain that kind of performance na ganun katagal, 20 years, 15 years, and in the next 10 years or 15 years or 20, how do you maintain that kind of performance?
Yeah. One of the nice things about being a part of a bank is that there's an infrastructure on the credit side that we can take advantage of. Meaning to say, meron kaming institutionalized investment process within our organization that allows us already to filter, yung good credit versus bad credit. Minsan yun yung challenge when you're an investor starting out, but you're looking directly at the companies, you're looking directly at the corporate credit. It takes a lot of research and a lot of experience and a lot of analytics to be able to manage your risk. And being a part of a unibank like BPI allows us that. Meron kaming investment process, We calibrate the duration of the portfolio. Iniisip namin kung, of course, nafi-filter out na namin yung good credit names. In fact, we have a regular process na tinitingnan namin lahat ng mga financial statements ng mga offerings. Ano mga offering ngayon? Sinong mga mag-i-issue ng bonds? So on. And nafi-filter out na namin yung medyo risky masyadong credit for our taste. Admittedly, we take a very prudent approach. But then again, fund management is really essentially risk management. More than just simply making money for other people. What we make sure of is that you sleep well at night by having your money professionally managed. That's one of the comforts that mutual fund business can offer investors. No? Not only do you have professional fund managers, but you have the infrastructure behind it that will allow us to manage your risk properly. So, ang malaki names there. No doubt, maraming binanggit si JC, mga index names. But who is going to take the time to look at the last 5 years na balance sheet, cash flow, and kung tama yung laman ng balance sheet nila na report, diba? So these are the things that we can offer sa mutual fund space, particularly sa BPI. That gives you that extra measure na these guys are picking the right names.
All right. Thank you so much for those answers, Sir Marty. So guys, I'm opening the floor for questions that you guys may have, because sulitin natin yung oras natin ngayon. But I'd like to move on with a question here regarding investment scams, nabanggit ni John from our YouTube. So I'd like to ask Sir. Sige, sir. I'll unmute. Sige, sir. I'll unmute. Medyo nag-e-echo lang, sorry. So I'd like to ask Sir Erwin naman muna. When it comes to how do we know that where I'm investing in is really a secure and legitimate platform or business or company?
All right, Renzo, that's a very good question, and many people will hate me for answering this, especially yung mga fly-by-night, mga investment scams, It's actually the common answer to that, that the fly-by-night investment scams will tell the public is that we are a registered company, sa SEC. Yun yung yun yung una nilang sasabihin sa public. And then the public will know, registered sila, so we'll invest. But that is not what you should be looking for. Mga ka-investa, i-relay niyo ito sa friends ninyo, sa relatives ninyo. When you meet an investment company na nagsusolicit sa inyo ng investments, go to this website. It's cmprs.sec.gov.ph, .gov as in victory.ph. So ano yung website na yan? That is the Capital Market Participants Registry System. Kasi ang dapat nyong hanapin sa investment companies is not just the primary registration. Yun yung pinapakita nila sa inyo But you should look for the secondary license. Ask them, ask this question. Are you licensed to solicit investment from the public? Yan ang dapat tanungin sa mga companies na maghihingi sa inyo ng investment. Ask them, are you licensed to solicit investment from the SEC? Pag sinabi nilang yes, you can check the website that I told you. Type nyo lang doon yung company, you will see, lalabas doon kung ano sila, kung license sila to solicit investments or not, So yun, mga ka-investa, share that to your friends, And a lot of fly-by-night companies will actually hate me for divulging this website to the public.
All right, thank you so much for sharing that, Sir Erwin. So with regards to that, I'd like to continue this question from John, and maybe Sir JC or anyone from BME can also answer this. So how do you approach people to invest again, when he or she experienced an investment scam in the past? So do you have any insights with that, Sir JC or Sir John? Sige, Sir JC.
dapat matuto kang patawarin ng sarili mo. Kasi madali kasi sa culture ng Philippines yung 'di ba? Parang, uy, may payout ka next month, 10%. Parang ganyan. Tapos sabi ng kapitbahay natin, ganun yung nangyayari sa mga probinsya sa Tagum. Kaya sobrang attractive ng mga pyramid scheme and all. So, nangyayari na yan. Pero the good thing is, exponential rin yung growth ng mga educators and legitimate na financial entities. And to partner with one of the biggest banks and investment management companies in the Philippines is really an honor for us, Investa. So maraming salamat, Sir Marty and John, for being here. It's really our pleasure, and I'm very excited in how we can grow the investment population. And yun nga, sa future, we make investments not just for the high-profile clients, but also for everyone who's starting point. Ito yung magiging seed nila. So, to answer the question, patawarin mo sarili mo. Tapos yung sabi nga ni Sir Erwin, nasa SEC kasi yan eh. Kung may naka-front na BPI or other funds, di ba? Titans of the titans na to. Parang wala ka ng question dyan. So you start with these, yung mutual fund, sobrang double-layered safe yan eh. Kasi una, run by big companies. Pangalawa, run by some of the top professionals sa fund management industry. So double layer na yung protection mo. Merong risk, pero in terms of yung credibility and secureness, ayun na, may 2 layers ka na in terms of So you can start there. Start small, then start there. It's the same thing with parang kung nag-trade ka tapos natalo ka ng malaki, the way you get back into the game is you forgive yourself, then learn from the mistakes, and you start small and pace yourself and build momentum slowly.
All right. Thank you for that insight. No? So I guess we can move on to the next question from our audience. So my question is, Steven, how do you choose the right companies for DCA or PCA investment, and when is the shortest and longest exit strategy? So anyone from Sir Marty or Sir John, maybe you would like to take this question. All right.
Yeah, sorry. Could you educate me on the DCA, PCA investment? What are we referring to here?
All right. So actually, I'm not familiar with DCA. Pero when it comes to the funds, during sa mutual funds, meron ba kayong longest and shortest exit strategy?
Sige, go ahead.
PCA, yung peso cost averaging.
Okay. So ano pala to? More on investment strategy.
Yeah. Well, the peso cost averaging is really for the investment. It's for the mutual fund investor. No? And to me, I look at it, well, the way I would approach it really is have a goal. Always have an investment goal. Before you begin this journey, you have to know where you're going to go. What do you want to accomplish? Hindi ka makakarating doon kung hindi mo alam saan ka pupunta. That's the most basic piece of advice I would give investors. So, actually, the answer to the short, medium, long term lies in you. What do you want to accomplish when? Right? Retirement ba habol ko or punta akong Japan next year? Now, dun mo ibe-base kung ano yung peso cost averaging strategy mo. Right? And really, I cannot be the one to tell you kung ano yung dapat mong goal. That comes from introspection, reflection. These are the things that I would normally ask an investor first. What is your personal goal? Because even then, dun magdidictate kung kailan ka magbebenta. Pag narating mo na yung goal mo, picking the right stocks and the right portfolio to buy is only as good as your ability to sell it when the time comes. Minsan kasi we get so enamored by the movement of our portfolio na akit ng stock na binili ko. Parang nahihirapan tayo ibenta. Ultimately, you will not realize your gains unless you sell it. Now, when you know what your goals are or what your time frame is, that will be your cue to sell. Naka 20% na ako, ito yung goal na habol ko dito sa name na to, kahit na umakit pa siya, nandun na ako. Ililiquidate ka na, look for another opportunity. No? It's not very different from us professional fund managers as well. Ano ba ang fundamental price target nito mga stocks? Anong, that's where we look. Kung kailan namin ibebenta, overvalued na siya, sige, mag-top slice na tayo, i-rotate natin doon sa undervalued, umpisa tayo ulit. So that's basically the approach.
And just to add lang din from Marty, no? So yung first question, how to choose the right companies for your cost averaging, it actually depends kung yung resource, your other resource, kasi your first resource is yung funds mo, yung available funds na pwede mo i-invest. The same time is time. Kasi if you're researching for companies, isa-isa mo yan. Mag-research ka for a specific company, company A, company B, company C. And then, other option then is you can go into mutual funds looking for investments. No? Since, as mentioned earlier nga, it's well-diversified. The funds are well-diversified. Hindi lang siya nasa isang fund. It's a mix of bonds, or stocks, different kinds of companies that will help balance yung riskiness ng investment portfolio mo. And to add from the shortest and the longest, we've been giving talks. No? So you do check first kung ano yung talaga yung goal. Just to add to Marty. Then malalaman mo din kasi doon kung ilang years yung investment horizon mo. So what we usually look at is to start things off in advising which type of investments are good for you is yung goal. Kasi doon natin nalalaman yung investment horizon, yung risk exposure na kaya ng goal na yun. Kaya ba siya long term? Or pang short term lang ba siya? So again, you have to emphasize, you have to tell kung sino man yung investment advisor, kung sino yung kausap nyo sa investment. You have to tell them kung ano talaga yung purpose ng investment. Hindi lang, usually, sometimes kasi sasabihin lang na, gusto ko lang kumita. So the hard thing about that is, so pag kumita na ng 5%, okay ka na ba doon? Pag kumita na ng 10%, okay ka na ba doon? So hindi natin malalaman until you set a goal. Gaano kalaki ba yung, or gaano katagal ba yung investment na yun talaga? Or yung plano mong i-invest. And again, you can start small, you can work your way up, getting opportunities pag gumagalaw ang market. Then there, again, gusto ko i-emphasize yung investment journey nyo. Very important. And that starts with a goal in mind. Bakit ka tutuloy dun sa journey mo, no, to begin with.
All right. Thank you so much, no? Thank you, Sir Marty and Sir John. Sobrang insightful nun. And tama nga, parang start with why muna before you invest. Kailangan alam mo yung goals mo, kailangan alam mo kung bakit ka papasok in the first place. So I have a privately sent in question here. So if I am at the age of 35 to 40, so in that range, ano kaya yung magandang investment or mutual fund na pwede kong simulan? So ito merong scope. So 35 to 40 yung age range niya. So do you guys have any suggestions with regards to this question?
Yeah, well, all else being equal, no? Let's say age lang yung alam ko. 35 to 40 to me implies that you have at least another 25, 30 years of earning capacity. In other words, you're at an age where you can take risk. Unlike, let's say, pag 70 plus ka na, ngayon ka pa tataya sa highly volatile asset class, parang hindi na siguro baka sapat sa'yo yung ganon. Depende sa edad, no? I think 35 to 40, you can still have a balanced portfolio. And this is where it's useful to have several mutual funds in your basket. Doon ka sa risk assets. Equities, we have known over time, will provide a higher rate of return pag tinignan mo yung mean over the last 20-25 years, over, let's say, a bond fund. At the middle age, hindi naman siguro middle age ng 35 to 40, no? Medyo below middle age pa yun. Pero pwede ka pa you can still have a large proportion of your portfolio in risk assets, more than 50%. And as you age, as you grow older, what becomes more important to you is steady income. No? Pag nabili mo na lahat ng kailangan mo sa buhay, may bahay ka na, napaaral mo na yung kids mo and everything, I think the element of risk needs to be managed a little bit better when you get to your senior years. And when you're in your 20s, take all the risk you want. Normally, you're not yet, hindi ka pa siguro wala ka pa masyadong kids or hindi ka pa nagpapaaral or you're saving up for your house. You have a lot of opportunity to recover from mistakes and learn from them. 35 to 40, medyo nasa gitna ka na. So, have steady cash flow returns and makukuha mo yan sa bond funds or sa money market funds and then put some in risk assets para meron kang kicker on the upside. That's the normal approach I would take.
All right. Thank you so much
for...
for...
I'd
Sir
like
Erwin.
to add, something to that. No?
Yes,
so,
please.
To the investor community. No? So nakita nyo, no? Age range lang yung binigay natin and Sir Marty was able to, provide you, the proper investment, no? Or at least, yung tamang investment instrument for you. Ngayon, I would like to add that dun sa Invest app, ginawa nga namin ito for you guys, no? We wanted to make it intuitive and smart, no? So aside from the age, no, we get the different metrics, no. We ask, no, kung ano yung goals niyo, kailan niyo hawakan yung fund. So when you go to that to our online onboarding KYC system, maka-classify na namin, and then we will know which particular fund is really suited for you, no? Dun sa risk profiling na ginagawa namin, no? So kaya nga if you use the Invest app, maganda kasi talagang hassle-free na siya and talagang yung ipapakita namin sa inyong funds is really suited, no, for you, no? And nakita natin, no, yung ginawa ni Sir Marty, no? Sa kanya nga you gave him yung age bracket, no, and he was able to give, no, yung tamang fund, no. Now sa Invest app, no, we get all the details then, and then based on that we get the right BPI fund for you and the right partner fund for you. So yon, Renz.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Marty and Sir Erwin, no. I hope you guys learned from this session, no. If meron pa kayong questions, feel free to put it here. But all right. So I think that's a good way to end our session today. And no, hindi pa tapos ang session natin because we have a contract signing with BPI, BIMI, BIMI. So I'd like to call on everyone else to join us in this very special moment because we're gonna have the contract signing muna. All right. All right, so if you guys have the contracts with you, maybe you can show it on the screen, no? Or just prepare the contracts so that we can move on to the contract signing. All right, but before that, no, baka gustong humabol ng isang question from Sir Donald. At least naka-prepare na ang ating contract. So ang tanong ni Sir Donald, if I have 500k. So kanina yung age range yung tinatanong, ngayon yung amount of money naman yung tinatanong niya. What kind of mutual funds should he be investing in? All right.
Siguro, ganun din, unang tanong ko dyan is, ano ba yung objective natin dun sa 500,000 natin? That's always going to be the starting point. Maybe the best I can say is, marami ka nang mabibili na. You can have a broad, diversified portfolio with 500,000. Pwede ka na mag-peso, pwede ka mag-dollar. Dumadami lang ang options mo. But ultimately, parang ang importante is alamin mo muna kung ano talaga yung objective mo. More of low risk, steady income, high risk, high volatility, high return. May sariling mga characteristics in each of the funds that we offer. Lalo itong tatlong fund, medyo basic characteristics pa lang yan. But always revert to what your objectives are. And what your capacity is also for losing value in the portfolio. Because in some cases, like yung money market, mababa return, pero mababa rin yung probability na matatalo ka. Whereas in stock market, as we can see, there's a little bit of volatility. And, in this day and age, kasi with the way information moves from one country to another globally, 24 hours a day. In my observation, in the 30 years that I've been looking at this market, the volatility has started to become a lot more, the frequency has gone higher highs and lower lows. No? So, again, then you have alternative investments like Bitcoin, crypto, which offer another level of volatility beyond the stock market. Always revert to your objectives. What do you want to accomplish? And from there, you work back to what the suitable products are going to be to get you to your objective. If you're simply, want to augment your current income and you're comfortable enough, put it in risk assets. Pero if this money is going to go towards your home, tuition, critical matters in life, then maybe you have to temper the amount of risk you want to take. It's really all the best advice I can offer without knowing exactly what you're trying to achieve.
All right. Thank you for that. And I think, Sir John, would you like to add to that?
Just to add lang, no, as mentioned ni Marty earlier. So you have to check your liquidity requirements din. Kailangan ka bang funds na for payables? So yun nga, just going back to the goals, your goals will dictate that. Double check din yung liquidity requirements nyo. From that 500,000, for the next 6 months, may kailangan ba akong kunin doon? Because that will adjust which investments would be suited to you as well. So yung gaano kalaki yung pwede mong i-allocate for a specific fund or a more aggressive fund. Kasi if you have liquidity requirements, most likely or not, mas mataas yung allocation mo with more conservative investments or mutual funds.
All right. Thank you for that. So, thank you for your answer. Sobrang na-enlighten kami. No, of course, if mag-i-invest ka, tama nga, you have to know why. You have to know ano yung pinagagamitan mo ng pera. I-inspect mo yung sarili mo and know yourself muna before you can start investing in the right fund. No, so I hope everyone here enjoyed our session, and thank you so much, Sir John, Sir Marty. It's really an honor to have you here and to answer the questions of our audience. And I guess we can start with the contract signing. So again, let's show everyone the contracts, and then if you guys are ready, maybe we can start signing them now. So there you go. All right. So thank you. All right, we can start signing the contracts. So guys, maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanonood. No? I hope nag-enjoy kayo. This is a momentous event for Investa to become partners with BPI Investment Management. No, so there you go. So let me know if everyone is done with the contract signing. Okay na. Sige, let's show the contracts and let's give a few seconds to show everyone na ito na, partner na natin si BPI. So aalis muna ako for 5 seconds para ma-appreciate natin yung moment. Okay. All right, there you go. There we have it. Grabe, sobrang thank you so much, Sir John, for your time, Sir Marty. It's an honor to have you. Any final words to our audience before we wrap up this very special webinar series? Siguro we can start with Sir John. Sir John.
Okay, so thanks, Renzo. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. No, and at the same time, thank you, Investa, for partnering with us and giving us the opportunity to speak then about BMI and about our products. So again, just enjoy the digitalization because back then, sobrang hirap if you prior to really having a digital outlet for investment. Pupunta ka pa sa branch, mag-fill up ka ng forms, you have to do a lot of things. So this time around, with digitalization getting pushed further immensely because of the pandemic, you have the ease of access in almost everything. Shopping yan, or for investment yan. So take advantage of the digitalization age. A very, very powerful tool. And we've seen it, hindi lang naman sa Philippines, we've seen globally, digital apps getting made, not just for investments. So yeah, use the digitalization as much as possible. No? Take advantage of it. Kasi napakalaking difference yung before nating mag-push ng digitalization compared to now, no? And how easy we can open, invest in certain mutual funds. And again, yun, just start, just to, if I remember correctly, yung kay Josh, it's never too late to start investing. You know? And enjoy your investment journey. May mga blips yan. But if you look at it in the longer term, definitely you'll be enjoying yung fruits of your investments.
All right. Sir Marty, do you have any final words for our audience and for everyone watching us right now?
Yeah, this is our initial foray into the digital distribution of my app. And we purposely picked Investa because I look at the platform, I look at the user experience, I look at, anong natututunan ko dito. And for a long time, stock market professional, the platform is actually very useful to me. Even with the time I've spent with the market. And that's one thing, no? I see the credibility in the information that I'm able to gather from Investa. And this is why BPI picked a partner that's equally credible to our institution. And Investa is that platform. And we don't just pick kung sino. As you can tell, kaya ito na nga una namin. And the other thing that I like is pag narinig ko si JC talking about farmers and the common individual, that's something that we also want to see. Financial inclusion. Lahat ng tao sana matuto mag-invest, palaguin yung mga naiipon nila, hindi lang yung may kaya or yung may risk appetite, pero yung may mga hopes and aspirations then na to live a better life. And I find that Investa is the right platform for that. And now that I've met the people behind it, I believe it even more so that these guys are the right guys for us to be in partnership with. And because of that, we're excited for this venture and to see where this can go and how many lives we can touch and how many people we can help. So thank you, Investa, for giving us this opportunity as well and for hosting this event. And I am looking forward to a very fruitful partnership. Maraming salamat.
Wow, sobrang. Sige, Sir JC.
Ayun. Thank you, Sir Marty, for the kind words. Tama yan kasi pag nandun tayo sa fund management or institutional side, usually yung mga big boys yung natin. Pero I'm really happy that you also appreciate that na, these guys, kahit yung farmers, dati pinagtatawanan kami sa startup na ba't ko daw tinatarget yung farmer, wala namang pera yun. It's not really the case kasi if we just wanted profits, madali lang talaga maghunting ng malalaking empleyad, mga malalaking kliyente, pero we're targeting impact. And I'm happy that in creating that positive impact, kasama namin si BPI, one of the best and top banks in the industry. So it's really an honor to be part of this partnership and we're excited. So ayun, on our part, the analytics that you see before in Investagrams was just the starting point. That was the baby face of Investa. Right now, we're hiring a lot of people, senior developers, mga designers, product people. So kung may nanonood dito, join us and let's create one of the best investing platforms in the Philippines. So yun, that's our assurance rin, Sir Marty, na in this partnership, we'll continue to double down and triple down our efforts para magawa natin na yung mission natin ngayon, 1 million Filipinos yung nagsa-stocks, nag-mutual funds. Let's expand that to 5M, 10M in the near to long future. Thank you.
Alright, solid. Okay, Sir Erwin, baka meron ka pang final words.
Yeah.
To wrap up.
Siguro I'll start with a quote that I read from Facebook on Facebook. Sabi niya, do not give up on your dreams when there is at least one person that believes in you. When there is at least one person that believes in you, no? So everyone knows that the investor journey has not been an easy task, no? Yun, sabi nga ni Boss JC earlier, no? Marami nga pinagtatawanan kami dun sa ginagawa namin, ano? But then we did not stop. Why? Because back then, tatlo silang naniniwala sa sarili nila eh. It was JM, JC, and Erwin. They believe in each other. And then later on, naging 20, 30, 400 people, 1,000, 200,000. So may naniniwala eh. And then recently, hindi lang yung 200,000 na, no? Investa community is now 1 million strong. So there's 1 million people believing in Investa. And not only that, hindi lang tao yung naniniwala sa amin, no? Si Sir Marty, si Sir John, BPI Investment Management Inc. Sila mismo nagsabi, they believed in us, no? They believed in our direction, financial inclusion, empowering the fishermen, the farmers, di ba? So, hindi lang tao na yung naniniwala sa amin. During this journey, hindi kami bumigay. People believed in us. Institutions, big institutions, reputable institutions like BPI Investment Management Inc. believe in us. Traders, brokers, regulators, they believed in us. So we will not stop and we will continue this journey. And thank you, Sir Marty, Sir John, for actually ngayon ko lang nalaman that this is the first foray of BPI Investment Management Inc. On the digitalization of mutual fund distribution. Thank you for believing in us, sir. And we will not, hindi namin sasayangin yung tiwala niyo sa amin. One last thing pala, investor community, BPI Investment Management believe in us, partners believe in us. So let's believe in them as well, Let's put our trust in them. Available sa Investa app yung kanilang funds. It's properly managed. I can attest to that. Naging clients ko sila before when I was in a broker. So let's believe in them as well. Tulungan tayo. And this is not the end. This is just the start, malaki pa yung future nito ng Investa and the partnerships. Thank you again, Sir Marty and John and BPI Investment Management.
All right. Okay. I think that is the perfect way to end this session. That's it, guys. I hope marami kayong nakuha. I hope excited kayo because we sure are very excited for this partnership. And guys, subaybayan nyo lang ang BPI and ang Investa wherever man sa social media. So guys, I hope nag-enjoy kayo. That's it. I think we can wrap this up. Thank you everyone for coming. And I'd like to see everyone else in the next one. We have another one in November 15. So again, this is a series. And thank you so much, BPI Investment Management Inc. It's an honor to have you with Investa. So that's it. I'd like to say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you. Good night. Salamat.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.